especially with the Tuesday game getting wiped out, what's the level of desire you guys have to make up any of those 3 games maybe that have been canceled?
Well, the desire is very high to make that game up and to make any of the games up that we've lost. Unfortunately, as you start to get into this point of the year, there's only so many days that we have. Already got Tuesday games built in. You don't want to play a whole lot of Tuesday, Wednesdays as you get into conference. So finding a replacement game in there is going to be difficult, unfortunately.
What's an area, 40% of the way through the season or however far we are at this point, that you think that your team needs to take a step forward in?
Well, I think probably what we've talked about since the beginning of the year is just the fielding in general. I think we've been better over the course of the last couple of weeks. Playing at home probably has helped that. Saved probably one game in there that we were disastrous defensively. I would like to see us continue to improve there, and I think just having Overbeek back and sliding Stokes back over to second base and not trying to play an injured Brumbaugh, for a couple of weeks there when we were doing that, I think that'll help. Dylan Carey's getting more comfortable every day. Karen's doing a nice job, and we've done a good job in the outfield. So I still think that's an area where we can become a above average team, and we're not there yet, but we can continue to strive to get there.
From a strikeout perspective, where do you think things are at there at this point?
Well, I think they're trending in the right direction for sure. We were obviously striking out more than we'd like early in the season. I think we've hit well with 2 strikes. I think we've had a lot of improvement just in terms of a lot less double-digit strikeout games than we had early in the season, and I think we're definitely trending in the right direction that way.
You mentioned Brumbaugh. Is he throwing again yet, or what's his?
He's playing catch, and he feels pretty good. So again, it's just a matter of, he's been out from throwing for 3 weeks. It's a matter of getting him ramped back up. Can he play second base? Could we potentially see him in the outfield at some point? Maybe that's a better answer for him, just having less throws to be able to go back out there and do that. So he's feeling better. I still think you're a couple of weeks away from seeing him potentially play in a game that matters.
Do you have a sense of maybe why you guys have been so good with 2 outs this year at the plate?
I think a little bit of it's kind of comes in waves. I think you might have some times where it feels like you can't get a hit with runners in scoring position. Sometimes it's you're 10 for 20 and you look up and the numbers they end up balancing themselves out. Now with 2 out hitting, I think there are a couple theories there. Number one, we hit more ground balls. We hit more ground balls this year. Our ground ball rate is higher. Now that's not inherently good either necessarily all the time, but when it comes to 2 out hitting, that is a key piece of it, is not hitting the ball in the air. And getting the low ball through the middle of the field. I think we've done a better job of that. And I just think 2 out hitting, a lot of it is just having the mindset of the inning's never over, the rally's never over, and then just having a chance to pick some guys up too. Just kind of that urgency. And it's happened several times this year, it feels like, where we've had a runner third with less than 2 outs and we don't get the job done, and the next guy steps right up and picks him up. So I think you've got to have that team aspect of it as well to have the 2 out hitting.
What's kind of been the mindset heading into Big Ten play? A lot of new faces on this year's team. Just what makes conference play different?
Well, the mindset, and we talked about it this week with the group, is we obviously are feeling good. We've played well up to this point. It's not to change anything. It's not to say, okay, well, now we're playing in conference, we've got a different record associated with our name. It's just to stick to our process and be very, very consistent with what we do and not make more than it needs to be, which has exactly been the strength of this team. We've made every day super important, including practice days, and that's allowed us to be very, very consistent.
What do you see from Northwestern, especially with a new coach and a lot of new roster turnover there?
Yeah, Coach Greenspan, I've known him for a long time. He was in Indiana when I was an assistant here. He went with Tracy to Arizona State and then obviously to Michigan, so I've known him for a long time. He's done a tremendous job in a really short amount of time. They've played a really tough non-conference schedule, and they're coming away with right at a 500 record and a really good RPI.